Smoke inside your house. It's definitely frustrating and it can be dangerous. And the reasons for it usually don't start with your wood stove. They often start far away out of your house. Monk on the hill here, and I'm going to tell you all the reasons that may cause your wood stove smoking into the house. And I would say let's start with the furthest reason that can occur. It's atmospheric pressure. So if there's low pressure outside, all that pressure is pressing down on the whole house, including your chimney. It acts like kind of a cover over your chimney, so the smoke simply can't get out, and the only way it can go is back down the chimney, out the stove, into your house. Another outside reason can be temperature. This one occurs very often on late autumn days or early spring days when the nights are still cold. They are cooling down your house, but during the day outside it's sunny and it's almost warm outside. So all that sunshine is heating up your roof, and by the end of the day, when you want to start a fire, the air outside is warmer than the air inside of your house. That again acts like a cover, and the cold air in your chimney just stays down. Again, the only way the smoke can take is down the chimney, out your wood stove. Then of course, still outside, it can be windy. So every gust of wind that's going into your chimney, that will actively push the smoke down with the same effect. It's filling your house with smoke. The only way you can solve this problem is to get your chimney pipe as quick as possible, as hot as possible, because only when your chimney is hot, it's building a draft upwards. So you have to fight the temperature differences, or with the upcoming draft fighting against the wind. Another thing you should look out for is the chimney itself. The height of the chimney is relevant. On the outside, make sure that the chimney is higher than the roof itself. If it's not from the roof, there can be whirlwinds that will push wind into your chimney. The next thing about your chimney is the chimney length. It's best if your chimney has a total straight length of 4 meters from the point on where your stovepipe goes into the wall. Unfortunately, in my house, when it got built long time ago, they didn't took that in account. My wood stove is on the second floor already, and from that spot all the way up out of the roof, I don't think it's more than 2.5 meters. So that's why every now and then I have to deal with the smoke issue. Of course, you can solve that by just adding to your chimney outside. Mine was built out of huge massive stones, so that wasn't really an option. On my little guest house though, there was a brick chimney, and there I could actually add some more. Still not enough, but at least it's now higher than the roof itself. Then, still talking about the chimney, it always can happen that it gets blocked. Often that's during the summer, when some birds think it might be a good place to build a nest in there, and the usual reason is it's just not clean anymore. So during the time you're using it, there's building up soot, and that layer is getting thicker and thicker. And the main reason that chimney fires are happening is when that material gets hot, it expands. That's when the hole in your chimney is getting smaller and smaller. The first signs you will get is a lot of smoke in your house. If it's getting too hot, your chimney starts burning, and because of the chimney effect, you'll get a massive draft in there, and these fires are really hard to put out. That's the most dangerous thing, and that's why you should always keep your chimney clean. Then for the next reason, we are still not coming to the stove itself. It's about your house. Around here in Bulgaria, this is usually no problem, but in Western countries where houses are built almost airtight, this can be a problem. As you know, a burning fire needs air to keep on burning. Where is this air coming from? Yes, it's coming from your house. The house can't be sucked dry of air. Usually older houses, they have everywhere tiny little gaps, be it at the windows or the roof or wherever, and that's where new air comes to it. Of course, that air is cold and it takes a while to build up enough hot air inside that an inside fire won't cool your house. But if you have an airtight house, there's building up a pressure difference, and the only opening you'll have is your chimney. So that is where new air is coming into your house. Again, it's going the wrong way and will push smoke into your house. The same actually happens when you try to start a fire and in the same time you have a kitchen ventilation system running. That ventilation is actively pulling air out of your house, air that would be needed for the fire to go out the chimney. So if you start a fire and it's smoking outside while you have ventilation running, this is the reason. You can solve that easily, of course, by just turning off the ventilation, and if you don't have one running but your house is still airtight, simply open up a window. And finally, we are coming to the wood stove itself. You have to know your wood stove. Not like me when I first got this one. I'm having this mechanism here that is simply opening and closing a little gap in here. So if this gap up here is open, the hot air from the fire goes up here out the chimney. If I close this gap, then the hot air goes down here underneath and then out the chimney. Of course, in the first year I cleaned it all, but in the second year, every time I closed up here, the wood stove started smoking and I couldn't figure out what was going on. So only in my second year I realized that I can lift up this whole bottom in here and the whole huge thing down there was filled up to the top with ashes and soot and whatnot. So there was no way smoke could go out here. And that's what I mean if I say you have to know your wood stove. So my whole setup of wood stove and especially chimney is not perfect, but knowing all the issues that can occur, I can deal with it. I hope you found this information useful. And then leave a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.